Right, so hopefully you've watched the video on how we make sevenths, how seventh chords are made up. This is just a little video on the dominant because I figure it needs its own little video just to explain it and to explain why it's there, because again there's a little bit of confusion with this last week or Monday just gone, and it's really important that we get this because the dominant is really important. So, just to recap from the last video, if we're making a dominant chord, we know that the dominant chord is the fifth chord of the scale, just because it always is. If we're making up a dominant chord, the reason that it happens as the fifth chord of the scale is this. If we're in the key of C, we know that our fifth chord is G, so we try and make a seventh chord up using the notes that are in the C major scale. A G chord is made up of G, B and D. If we were to add the major seventh, that would be F sharp, which of course is not in the key of C, so we flatten that, which makes it an F. So you get from this arpeggio, okay, which would be our major 7 arpeggio. You can't do that because that F sharp isn't in the key of C, so we can't use it, so you have to flatten it. You get this arpeggio. Okay, I'll play the two different chords as well so you can hear them. So here is, that's just your regular triad. Okay, this is your major 7, what some people refer to as quadrads, which I don't think is a word, but anyway, here we go. That will be major 7. Okay, dominant 7 sounds like this. Okay, that's your dominant 7, and it's because we've had to flatten the 7th to make it fit within the key that we're in, which would be in C major. Okay, so that's how you make it up. That's how you make it. It's the same as the other sevenths. The only difference is obviously you go, well, it's a major chord, but it's got a minor 7th. And that's the point. That's what makes it such a special chord. That's what makes it such special harmony. It's what we call functional harmony, which we'll get onto in a second. But that's an important bit of information. You have a major chord, so major third, but also a minor 7. Okay. What this does is it creates instability in the chord. It creates tension. Okay. Now this tension is what makes the chord functional. You can use it in dozens of different ways and dozens of different techniques that all involve the dominant and all involve these kind of things. So the first use of the dominant I'm going to tell you is about resolution. So those who know their cadences, which should hopefully be all of you, will know that if we're going from G to C, that's chord 5 to chord 1, that's a perfect cadence. Okay? Lovely. Now, if we employ our knowledge of sevenths that we've just learned, if we go from the dominant 7, from G7 to C, or it could be C regular, just a triad, or it could be C major 7, either way works. You're adding more tension, which makes the resolution stronger. Okay, so I'll play it. So this is the regular triad. Lovely jubbly. Bit plain, but does the job. This is it with the 7th in. That one note difference creates such stronger tension on that chord. Okay, and it means the resolution is that much stronger. Also, if you break down the notes that are being used there, that F, rather than playing a G, you're playing an F. So you've got a G, a B, and a D, and then this F. Okay. So the regular resolution, you've got all the notes going down 1/5. With this one, you've got them all going down 1/5, but you've got that added F to C. Okay. Now F to C, those keenies about amongst you will you'll know that it's a plagal cadence. So there's actually just an extra bit of resolution in there, an uber cadence. Okay, and that's a really useful use of a dominant. You'll hear it all over the place. That if you're going from chord 5 to chord 1, make it a dominant. You're laughing. You got really good strong resolution there, and it works 100% of the time. Okay. Another useful thing about dominants is they're really good for telling you what key you're in. If you look at a chord sequence, and I'll give you an example. Say for example, you look at a chord sequence, and the chords are E minor and A minor. Now, you can be in two different keys. There's two keys you can be in then. But if you see a chord sequence and there's a G7 in it, you know you're in C, because G7 only happens once. It only happens in one key. Happens in C. Okay, you'll only ever get one dominant per key, If you see two different dominants in one chord sequence, it means that the key has been changed in some way. So it's a great little indicator for that kind of stuff. And you know, it's a nice little trick. Someone says, "Oh, what key is that in?" You take one look, you see 1/7 chord, and go, "Oh yeah, it's in C," and you know, brilliant, fantastic. That's all I'm going to say in this video about the dominant. We're going to do another one about pivot chords and functional harmony, which we kind of also touched on that this week. So hopefully, if you did have problems with this kind of stuff, watch this next video, because hopefully it'll explain it. And if you have any questions, just message me on Facebook or email me at my college email. That's gwoodet@citybathcol.ac.uk. You know, that'll just make a big difference, and you'll be able to hopefully get to where we need to be, because it only gets more complicated from here. So I hope that's helping. Thank you very much.